Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher, and I work at the Ann Arbor District Library. Welcome to Storytime. Look, I've got a brand new location for Storytime. I hope you like it. You know, you've got to be flexible in this old world. Well, enough of that. You know how I like to begin with a little song called Clap Everybody and Say Hello. It goes like this. Clap everybody and say hello, say hello, say hello. Clap everybody and say hello. Welcome to story time. You think you can give me some help while I play that on the banjo? Let's see. Clap everybody and say hello, say hello, say hello. Clap everybody and say hello. Welcome to story time. Thank you. Now, you know I like to say hello in lots of other languages around the world. Let's start with Igbo. Ndeawonu. Clap everybody and say hello, say hello. Whoops, I said hello. I meant to say Ndeawonu. Clap everybody and say Ndeawonu, say Ndeawonu, say Ndeawonu. Clap everybody and say Ndeawonu. Welcome to story time. How about Hebrew? Shalom. Clap everybody and say shalom, say shalom, say shalom. Clap everybody and say shalom. Welcome to story time. We've got time for one more. How about Mandarin? Ni hao. Clap everybody and say ni hao, say ni hao, say ni hao. Clap everybody and say ni hao. Welcome to story time. Welcome everyone to story time. I think we're going to have a great time today. Now, before we begin, I think we should. What do we usually do? Oh, I remember. The Grendel Duke of York. Oh, Duke of York! And here he is. Are you ready? The Grendel Duke of York. He had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. Do you have it? Well, if you don't have it yet, you will by the time it's over. Let's speed things up a little bit, shall we? Here we go. The Grendel Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. The Grendel Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. The Grendel Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. Super fast! The Grendel Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill. He marched them down again. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And when you're only halfway up, you're neither up or down. Good job, everyone. Did I lose you? Something tells me you could have gone even faster. Well, we'll try to go even faster next time. Okay, on with the show. Our first story has something to do with a no. Oh, there it is. I had it right the first time. It has something to do with a word that starts with the letter P. I wonder if you can think of any words that start with the letter P. Well, there's pressure, like water pressure. That's a good word. What else do we know that starts with P? Peanuts. Peanuts starts with a P. And, I'm going to trick you now. A pterodactyl. Starts with a P. Can you believe it? It's true. Well, today we don't have any stories about pressure, peanuts, or a pterodactyl. But our first story does have something to do with a pig, and I hope you'll enjoy it. But first, before we get into stories, I've got to remind you of some very important things coming up on AADL TV. We've got the Saturday show. It's being revamped, and I'm so excited about it. It features so many of your favorite AADL storytellers and staff members doing what they do best, which is deliver the fun to you. And then on Monday, we've got baby time for our littlest patrons, age 0 to 2, and their grown-ups. Let's invite them as well. This is a wonderful show full of songs and stories and rhymes and little jumps for our littlest patrons, and I think everyone would enjoy it. Now, on with the show! Our first story today, well, I think our first story might be something that you haven't really heard of before. It's a brand new story. It's about a big moose. And, oh boy, you know who's here? It's our friend Anansi. Anansi. I'm right in the middle of story time. Did you know that? Well, what do you want to tell me? You want me to tell an Anansi story? Well, I guess I could. All right. Will you leave me alone to tell the rest of the story? Okay. All right. You want to go back up, Anansi? All right. There you go. Now, we can finish telling our story, I think. Here it is. It is a great story about Anansi. It's called How the Pig Got Its Snout. I'm kind of curious how this one goes myself. Here it is. One day, Anansi was enjoying a nice lemonade and having a good time. Now, you know that Anansi was quite a farmer. Very clever indeed, and he had a great farm. But what do we know about Anansi? Two things. A little bit lazy and kind of a trickster. That's right. But we still like him anyway. And so, Anansi had a wonderful farm. But unfortunately, the food started to dwindle, and the crops had given all they could give that year. And pretty soon, Anansi and his family was kind of out of food. Well, Anansi decided, you know what? Pig has always been kind-hearted. Let's go talk to Pig and see if he's got any food for me. And he said, "Hey, Pig! Oh, Pig, are you in there?" And Pig came out and said, "Neighbor Anansi, what could I do for you?" And Anansi said, Pig, you have stored up a lot more food than I have, and my food's all gone. Do you think you could loan me some food, and maybe I could pay you back when the people that owe me money give me that money? Now, Anansi might have been fibbing a little bit here, because no one really owed him any money, but he had to tell Pig something. And Pig said, "Oh, Anansi, we're neighbors, our children play together, we've always been kind to each other. Go ahead, have some food, you can pay me back whenever you like." Well, Anansi thought, that's all right. So Anansi grabbed so much food from Pig, took it all home, and the family lived on that food for a long time. But you know, the days turned into weeks, and the weeks became a month, and Pig very gently said, hey, Anansi, do you have any of that money that you promised me for the food that I gave you? And Anansi said, oh, the people who owe me money are still delaying. I hope to get that money soon. I'll pay you right back as soon as I can. Well, Anansi's just being tricky again. Finally, Pig had kind of had enough, neighbor or not, and he went to Anansi and said, Anansi, I'm coming tomorrow, and if you don't have the money, things will go bad for you. That did not sound very good to me. We don't really know what Pig had in mind, but we can imagine. So the next day, Anansi cooked up another scheme. Can you believe it? Pig came over and he said, Anansi, do you have my money? And Anansi came out with a long bamboo stalk, and he was digging in it and trying to find something inside the stalk. It was as if he had lost something inside it. And Anansi said, Pig, you know, this is all your fault. I was rushing over here with your money and I lost it someplace in this bamboo stalk. Now, something I didn't tell you that I probably should have at the beginning of the story is that a long time ago, Pig's nose looked just like an elephant. Can you believe that? And so Anansi said, why don't you stick your long elephant-like nose up inside of this bamboo stalk? Your money's up in there. Go to it. Well, Pig thought, okay, I guess I can try to do that if this is the only way I can get my money back. And Pig said, I don't feel anything inside this bamboo. And Anansi said, keep reaching with your trunk up inside that bamboo. And Pig said, oh, come on. I don't know if there's anything here. And all of a sudden, Pig realized his long nose was stuck fast. He started to panic, and Anansi thought, this is just how I hoped it would go. And Pig said, get this thing off my nose. I'm stuck. I'll do anything if you just get it off me. And Anansi said, anything? And Pig said, yes, I'll forgive your debt. So Anansi popped the bamboo right off of Pig's nose, took the trunk with it, and to this day, Pig has a flat nose. That's the end of the story. That's how Pig got his snout. Is there anyone else that we should call today? I think there might be. Who do we usually have on our show now? Well, it's Ralph. Hey, Ralph. Oh, Ralph. Hey. Oh, Ralph, you found me. Good job. Ralph, I was wondering if you would like to do some hopping and maybe some swimming and some jumping and yeah, that sounds good. Okay, you ready? Oh, wait, what song do we sing? Oh, dance any way you want to. Dance any way you please. Dance any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Good stopping. Oh, swim any way you want to. Swim any way you please. Swim any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Don't sink now. All right, how about some hopping, Ralph? Oh, hop any way you want to. Hop any way you please. Hop any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Nice stopping. What are we missing, Ralph? We hopped, we swam, we danced. Oh, I know. Oh, I'm getting a little tired. It might be nap time. Could it be? Are you ready? Yeah, I know what you're ready for. Okay, Ralph. Here we go. Oh, sleep any way you want to. Ralph, that's not going to come off no matter how hard you pull, buddy. Okay, sleep any way you please. Oh, sleep any way you want to. Oh, but stop when I say freeze. Oh, you woke us up with all that yelling. Okay, see you, Ralph. Bye. All right. Well, we've got some more stories today. We've got a Dr. Seuss. Can you believe that I had never read this Dr. Seuss book? I actually love Dr. Seuss a lot. Thidwick the Big-Hearted Moose. Let's see if we can get this to work in our new storytelling location. All right. Kind of tight quarters in here. Okay. Here we go. What? Do you know what? I think we are going to leave this story for another day. I'm making an executive decision on this. So let's go into another wonderful story. Let's go home, little bear. And this is by Martin Waddell, illustrated by Barbara Firth. I really like this story. Let's see. I think I'll stand for this one if I can read it. Once there were two bears, Big Bear and Little Bear. Big Bear's the big bear and Little Bear's the little bear. They went for a walk in the woods. They walked and they walked and they walked until Big Bear said, "Let's go home, Little Bear." So they started back home on the path through the woods. Plod, 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 went Big Bear, plodding along. Little Bear ran on in front, jumping and sliding and having great fun. And then Little Bear stopped and he listened and then he turned around and he looked. "Come on, Little Bear," said Big Bear. But Little Bear didn't stir. "I thought I heard something," Little Bear said. "What did you hear?" said Big Bear. "Plod, plod, plod," said Little Bear. "I think it's a plodder." Big Bear turned around and he listened and looked. No plodder was there. "Let's go home, Little Bear," said Big Bear. "The plod was just my feet in the snow." They set off again on the path through the woods. Plod, plod, plod went Big Bear with Little Bear walking beside him, just glancing a bit now and again, and then Little Bear stopped and he listened, and then he turned around and he looked. "Come on, Little Bear," said Big Bear, but Little Bear didn't stir. "I thought I heard something," Little Bear said. "What did you hear?" said Big Bear. "Drip, drip, drip," said Little Bear. "I think it's a dripper." Big Bear turned around and he listened and looked. No dripper was there. "Let's go home, Little Bear," said Big Bear. That was the ice as it dripped in the stream. They set off again on the path through the woods. Plod, 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 went Big Bear with Little Bear closer beside him. And then Little Bear stopped and he listened, and then he turned around and he looked. Come on, Little Bear, said Big Bear. But Big Bear didn't stir. I know I heard something this time, Little Bear said. What did you hear? Said Big Bear. Plop, 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 said Little Bear. I think it's a plopper. Big Bear turned around and he listened and looked. No plopper was there. Let's go home, Little Bear, said Big Bear. That was the snow plopping down from a branch. Plod, plod, plod went Big Bear along the path through the woods. But Little Bear walked slower and slower, and at last he sat down in the snow. Come on, Little Bear, said Big Bear. It is time we were both back home. But Little Bear sat and said nothing. Come on and be carried, said Big Bear. Big Bear put Little Bear high up on his back and set off down the path through the woods. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It is only the wind, Little Bear, said Big Bear. Creak, creak, creak. It is only the trees, Little Bear. Plod, plod, plod. It is only the sound of my feet again, said Big Bear, and he plodded on and on until they came back to their cave. Big Bear and Little Bear went down into the dark of their own bear cave. Just stay there, Little Bear, said Big Bear, putting Little Bear in the bear chair with a blanket to keep warm. Big Bear stirred up the fire and lit the lamps and made the bear cave all cozy again. Now tell me a story, Little Bear said. And Big Bear sat down in the bear chair with Little Bear curled up, and he told a story of plodders and drippers and ploppers and the sounds of the snow in the woods, and then Little Bear, and then, whoops, and this Little Bear and this Big Bear plodding all the way home. The end. Whoops. I think things are falling behind me. Oh well. Well, another story time has come to its logical conclusion. I think we have just enough time for, you know what happens now, if I can find everything. There we go. There was a girl from France who didn't know how to dance. The only thing that she could do was knees up, Mother Brown. No, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown, and sit back down. Oh, Piggy once lost his snout, and with it a lot of clout. The only thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. No, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown, and sit back down. Little Bear thought that he heard a plopper, but it was just a big snowdropper. The only other thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. No, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. And sit back down. There was a teeny tiny man. Oh, hello! Who loved to do handstands? Well, sort of. The only other thing that he could do was knees up, Mother Brown. No, knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Super fast. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, Mother Brown. Knees up, never let the breeze up. Knees up, Mother Brown. Wiggle, wiggle fingers right up to the sky. Wiggle, wiggle fingers and wave them all goodbye. I'll see you next time.